Last week on Sailing Adrift, we brought up our Dometic refrigerators and physically conceptualized the Galley, which led to some issues with our engine room access situation, but fortunately we were able to figure it out. Now that we've made some minor adjustments, we're officially moving forward.
How does that sound?
Sounds like a solid plan.
That is a useful observation I just made.
Yep.
Good on me. Way to go, Chris. You're the VIP of the day.
Now that the refrigerators are up in the boat, it's a lot easier to build and test fit the components surrounding them.
Easy, Turbo.
Now what?
Now, you sit on it, see if it's stable.
Sit on it?
Yeah, just go ahead and have a seat.
Is that a good idea?
There's no reason for it, but you might as well. Should be strong.
Yeah. Best
Good?
seat in the house.
I feel like you're holding yourself up. Look at that, with your feet. Put your feet up. Oh yeah, that's it. You've done it. It works. Is it feel even more claustrophobic now that that's up?
No.
Good, because this is the kitchen.
The world's tiniest kitchen. Possibly.
It might be, but I doubt it. There's somewhere in Korea. Hop up, dude. Check out the kitchen. Feel what it's going to be like to be in this little cozy spot. We'll be able to like wedge ourselves in there. I think that'll be good. I do like the idea of having some sort of like restraint coming from this end over to here so you can like hook yourself in while in a seaway.
Yep.
And that is it for this eve. Next.
Just working away.
Yeah.
Well, give me a synopsis of what you've been up to.
Well, just building what we planned. If you take a look here, Kelly, we've got a refrigerator. We're gonna have to leave this right here so it clears the wall. So we don't pull a Chris and have that not clear the wall. That'd
Yeah.
be a real bum. We're gonna build a cabinet that goes down here, and we're gonna make it small enough so that it also clears the lid here.
That's smart.
Leaving us plenty of room at the helm for some sort of seating configuration to be determined later. I've got to cut this back and put the face on it. Roughing things in, but I'm liking how it's turning out.
Cool.
I'm gonna have to take all of this apart to epoxy it back in place, but before I do that, I'm gonna polish up the old stainless.
Nice.
Anyway,
Okay.
so sink, wet storage, dry storage. Then the oven will obviously go here. It's shaping up pretty well. I was apprehensive as to how this was all gonna turn out.
Admittedly, we are still a little apprehensive, but we're pretty invested in our design at this point, so let's get that stainless polished up.
Get a good look. We're about to do some polishing. Step one will be 150 grit on our new Win polisher. It also works as a sander. So there's that. This is going to take a while, so I'm going to get after it and show you the results. Okay. I can see my face. This is not having been cleaned up all the way with these new polishing pads on my new Win polisher. I really like the polishing pads because they get into the nooks and crannies a lot better than a traditional sanding pad would be. This is the equivalent of a 3000 grit piece of sandpaper, and it lasts forever compared to those, which is a giant pile of dead soldiers, and it gives you a lot smoother finish. I'm going to give this a quick scrub, and then we're going to put the buffing pad on with some polishing compound and see how it turned out. I'm cautiously optimistic about the results. All right, after several rounds of polishing, this is where we're at. And I'm not like super impressed by it. I feel like I should have been able to get a better mirror finish for the effort I put in. The last step in the process, because Kelly doesn't want to have to deal with fingerprints and all that stuff, and I don't blame her, and I also don't want to have to keep polishing and polishing and polishing. So there's two, finishes on most stainless steel appliances, and there's brush finish and mirror finish. This is as close as I'm willing to get to mirror finish. So we're gonna go for the brush finish, and that will involve just taking a sanding sponge of relatively high grit, maybe 800 to 1,000. And then just in one direction, wiping all of this down to give it kind of a bit of a texture. I like that look. It's supposed to be a lot more resistant to fingerprint exposure and things like that. Plus it should cover up some of my flaws here. So that's the next step. After I get this all wiped down, we'll just do that real quick and this should be done. One more thing off the list. There it is. It's got the grain in it now. You can see like a definite grain going this way. I don't love it. I hope there's just some sort of cloudy residue still sitting on the surface, but it looks ungood. And that's gonna bother me a lot. I don't know what to do about it now though, so we're gonna keep soldiering on.
Meanwhile, back inside our house,
Oh, not again.
the clamp traps have been set, and soon all the pieces for the galley will have hardened and be ready to install.
This is the under the oven drawer.
Cool, it's huge.
Told you it was gonna be.
It's
We need
massive.
storage, dude.
Yeah, it's great.
There it is.
Ta-da!
This is for dishes.
That looks really cool.
Plates will go in here. I need to round this off a little bit, but these have a nice round feature. It has a big hatch door that will hinge out to lift up like this. And then you'll be able to store mugs on this side and maybe big bowls here. There's little channels in there that are 4 inches apart, which is about exactly what things are, and it's got a little lip on it. Bowls will go in this one, and then this one's just for miscellaneous things. And then the last feature is right here.
Ah,
This will be as you come in from the door to the boat, little stash for things, but it also will act as a handhold as you come in.
cool. Little grippy action.
Yep. One last thing down here is a channel so that we can put our LED strips embedded in there. And it'll shine down on the refrigeradora.
Badass.
Rock and roll.
You've thought of everything.
We'll see. I haven't thought of what I hadn't thought of. So it's possible that I didn't.
As Chris finishes up the structures for these pieces by securing the cleats, I'm working away inside the house down in our creepy basement.
Look at this. Look what Kelly has done. They look really awesome. The final finish will be a little bit more satiny rather than glossy because this is just the epoxy coat, but it is gorgeous. Surf's up, dude. What you got there?
Panel for the engine room.
The floor?
Yep.
What are you going to do with it?
Paint it.
What color, Kelly? Orange, purple, green, blue?
I think we decided white was a good choice. Yep. Gonna paint the underside.
The underbelly?
The underbelly for the engine room troll. So.
Which one of us is the engine room troll?
You. I'm the fairy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Motherfucking fairy.
And just like that, we now have a brand new sealed ceiling for the engine room. No worries about paint shipping off here. Now back to Carpenter Chris.
Made a box. This box's function is allow the drawer to slide back in. There's going to be a shelf over all of this. And one of the most annoying things when you have a shelf or like a drawer is when you put it in and then something like springs open, like a pair of tongs or something, and then you can't open it back up. So if I have this here, this will be a continuation of the shelf and make it so that the drawer doesn't have a spot where stuff can get stuck underneath, because that would be annoying.
Now that the epoxy is dried, we can start assembling the galley.
Yeah, let's see if this fits. Got it.
Yeah, you just gotta hip thrust it.
I guess we're kind of test fitting it because we're not epoxying this in place yet, right?
We could.
Right. I mean, we could, but we aren't.
Why not? Why don't we just get her done? Just glue everything together.
Do you have any epoxy on you?
Wham bam, thank you, Sam. No, but I could. I could get some.
Sam.
I know where it is. This is a threat.
I would prefer to test fit it first.
Fine. Looks like it fits.
Yeah. We'll just assume that the fridge fits in there well.
The fridge is pretty heavy, so shoring this piece up to the hull seems like a really good idea. Once the housing for the fridges was in, it's time to make sure the platform for the ovens still fits.
It's in, Kelly. It's in.
Like what?
Firm.
Good one. That doesn't even rhyme. Stupid.
Let's go ahead and screw this into place. Nurse.
Doctor?
Okay. This whole kitchen thing is coming together right quick.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we put them in?
Yeah, let's do that.
Actually, let's just do this right. Let's set this in place. Wow, that's it. Yeah, that's a bit of all right there.
Yeah? I like your underwear today.
You can see them?
Uh-huh.
That's fairly well seated. That's enough. That seems to be all right. I think we're there. My pinky. I was gonna say pinky toe, then I realized it's on my hand and it's my actual pinky. Ready for the big boy?
Yeah.
I have a feeling we're gonna need to like drop it down like a coffin going into the earth.
Yeah. Get this out once it's in.
If it ever goes in. It's almost like we need to lift it up along the window here. Like the face. Set it in like that. Ow. Like a glove.
Yep. It's never coming out.
Yeah, it better not break. Taking that out will be a chore. This seems like a problem for later. But it's in, and it fits really well, doesn't it?
It does.
How did that happen?
We planned for that.
I know. It's like it's twisted like this. It's like I need to unscrew it and have it go that way more.
He's going in.
All right. Multi-tool, please.
There you go.
Cover your ears.
Do you have your ear protection on?
Yep.
Okay. All done?
For now, yeah. Would you lift the lid and kind of like tell me when we're clear? Anything?
No.
It's like not even remotely gonna go, is it?
It's still pretty jammed.
Yeah, this is so annoying. Why do I have to be such an idiot?
I think the boat just did its thing. It's a shapeshifter.
I really doubt that, Kelly.
Well, it's a good alternative to being stupid.
That our boat is sentient and against us?
Yeah.
I'd rather be stupid, I think. Alright, let's try to lift this out and then we will try to shim it back from the wall. I'll do the tough guy side. You do the wussy girl side. Ready? That was way easier than putting it in.
That's what she said.
Let me turn it. You okay?
Yep. Now.
Whoa! 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 This room needs to be decluttered. And we're gonna move the whole thing out enough space to open the lid for a bit of a gap. Stop losing things, Kelly. I am tired of being in charge of all the things.
How's that look?
It was actually pretty good.
Okay, let's try this again.
Have we decided whether it's in the holes? It feels like it is. Like it's not sliding inside its base.
At all, so yeah, it's in the hole.
I rocked that, didn't I, Kelly? You know, it only takes me 8 tries and I get a great.
Great for 8. Ready?
The ultimate test. Are you shitting me?
No.
How is that possible?
Just a little bit.
Put it back down. That's just. How?
You heard of the Oregon Vortex?
I don't know what that has to do with anything. Flim Flam roadside attractions? There, now when it comes out, we'll know exactly how far out we've come. The whole thing likes to rotate clockwise, so. I think we've done it. We might as well not even test fit it.
Okay, I think we should do one more though.
Fine. Okay, ready. Take 3.
Okay. Third time's the charm. That's what they say.
We'll see. No way that's touching. Impossible. Impossible.
You want to do the honors?
Sure. Here we go.
Ready?
It nicks. You gotta be kidding me. Mark my words, at some point there's going to be a gouge in here that I make to accommodate this stupid lid. That's my prediction for you.
Now that that's mostly figured out, time to install the upper cabinet for the dishes.
You see, leaving a track for the electrical is awesome.
Yep.
Unless you decide to stick a piece of wood in the track. Then you have a problem.
Uh-huh. You're just gonna V it from both sides until they connect?
Yeah, you figured out my strategy. I'll show you. I'll show everyone.
Root for you.
Are you though?
I am. Go, Chris. You can do it. Make that V. Blow that hole.
I'm the best hole blower. Take that, whales.
Now adhering the LED light strip to the bottom.
So much intent.
Intent. I intend to do one.
You're nailing it. One LED strip installed.
Yep, and we're going to put the cover on it, and then we're going to epoxy it in place. I do very much like these LED strips. They're 24 inches long exactly. They come waterproofed. They have a very long lead wire, and the gauge on the wire doesn't suck, and it's tinned. And just like that, in 4 minutes and 26 easy steps, you've got yourself a whole cabinet. Isn't that Pinteresting?
Yep.
All right, so this will connect to this, and we'll put a little protector in there, just like that. Swag.
Voila.
Now we gotta hang it.
Mm-hmm. How are we gonna do that?
Well, my idea is, since this has a bit of a slope to it, we will install it with 1 screw or 2 over here. But before we do that, we will ascertain the angle of this to level. And then we'll pre-cut a wedge, and then stick that wedge at the appropriate, it'll be pre-cut at the appropriate angle. We'll stick that wedge in there, and then screw through the wedge into this beam.
Mm-hmm.
And then we will take some epoxy, and epoxy a couple of blocks in the front, maybe a block or 2 in the back, and we'll screw into those as well.
So now that we've done all the maths and figured out all the angles, it's time to start hanging.
For those
This
of you
is
that
what
don't
I'm
know,
beat.
what is that made out of?
This?
Yeah.
It's a bunch of lats that were epoxied in place and then held up, and then there's glass over the top. Okay, so there's that first hole. This might be go time to where I might need your help, so would you set that up and then be ready to give me a hand?
Yeah.
So when I get this screwed in place, we might need to hold the bottom while I fit the rest of the holes. Ready? We'll lift this up together as a team.
Okay, ready?
And then I'm going to primarily hold this unsecured side while you hold the secured side. I don't know why this is a job for my left hand, but it definitely was.
No, but you just told me to hold it. You didn't say straighten it out or anything.
Put your hand here on it. Okay, can you kind of hold it there?
I'm trying.
I'll try to do the rest. Is that difficult?
Yes, it is.
Can you grab me one of those little wedge pieces? Level?
Level.
Okay. Should I let it go now? Better, right?
Yeah, it's better.
Well, that's enough struggle for one episode. What's next for our galley, you might ask?
The next step is to add in the panel spot for the propane, the on-off and alarm switch. We need to add in the hip valve for the water.
Yep.
And then we need to ferro all of this wood and get it ready for prime and paint. That's the next step on this side. That's it for tonight. We'll get back after it tomorrow.
Hey you, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw and you want to keep following along, become a subscriber. Just hit that subscribe button below. And special thanks to our patron crew. We really appreciate your support.
Now you're on. You can talk about Binford all you want.
The moment is lost. Why? So you can burn your breasts on the stove?
Ding!
Close your ears. Whatever the third's equivalent of a quadrant is. A tritent. I feel like I'm close.
You feel like Michael Phelps?
Yeah, where did our best tool ever go?
Up your butt.
The best tool ever.
Yep.
Second only to me.